All right, I thought I would do a little tutorial on continuous line drawing and then also with watercolor. So the supplies I'm using is I have this hot press finish fluid 140 pound paper. I don't love hot press, just so you know, but because I'm just doing little quick sketches, I want to use it up. I love this paper, but I like cold press. Should say that. But anyways, hot press is just not my favorite. It's too smooth for me. But I bought it just to try it out, and so I thought I would use it for things like this, that I can just make quick little sketches and little watercolor projects with. So anyway, so that's what I'm using for the paper. And then I have a Micron 2 and a Micron 5. If you're familiar with me, you know that these are my favorite size of microns, and so I use them a lot. My all-time favorite size of watercolor brush is the 6. I have 2 different kinds of 6s, and then I have a 5. So these are both rounds. These are, one's Princeton, one's Snap, and one's Protege. Anyways, I love this Princeton 6 round, but I sometimes go to these other 2 a lot. So I'm gonna just have all of them available. And then I just have my standard watercolor palette, which is a mess. Isn't it a lovely mess? This is how I live. Watercolors are always like this in my world. So I'm gonna put this over here to the side, but I just wanted to show you what I had, and then my water. And so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna show you the continuous line drawing. So continuous line drawing, the reason I like it is it just keeps you loose. You don't get too precious about things. So you just kind of, you just draw something without ever lifting the pen. Sometimes I lift the pen and it's not a big deal. I just hurry and put it back down. But like out of habit, sometimes you'll lift. So just put it back down and just keep drawing. So here's one of my notebooks. I think I have a YouTube video showing all of these here, but this is like my continuous line journal, the last one that I filled. You can fill them awfully quick. They're so much fun. Like, it's nice to not be too precious about things. I think that sometimes we get too fussy and too precious, and that's why I like a continuous line drawing. I think it's very organic, and I think that it is a true depiction of just like what we're feeling, and I think it just flows easier. So anyways, I also like to keep them as a reference for ideas at a later time. So they're really nice. So anyways, I'm going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to use the 5, I guess, on this one here. And so I just kind of, sometimes I use a reference, like sometimes I don't. You may have a picture from your walk or whatever of something that you saw, a tree branch, a pod, a flower, whatever. And then you just kind of bring it back in here a little bit and just kind of draw it loosely. And I even will use my left hand for this. Sometimes I'll do my left-handed, and I have to remember to hold it further up. I have a bad habit of holding it too tight to the front, and I just think it's better if you hold it towards the end more. I think it keeps the sketch a little more loose and organic, and I think it's funner. You just want a real rough, nothing too precious. Just kind of, there you go. So you saw me lift that because as I talk, I just keep doing that. But anyways, normally you do not. You keep it down. So for this first one, we're just gonna do that. So now I'm gonna grab, I always spray my watercolors. I just like to, the mess that you saw, I like to spray that too. I just get it, here, I'll show you. I just get it all messy, but there it is. And so I am going to grab some yellow if I can find a spare spot. I probably should clean off this palette after I'm done with this. I will clean this palette. So I just dip it. I'm gonna dip. I dip my brush into a lot of a color and then a lot of water, and I'm just gonna make it real wet and loose here so that I can drop in color. But I wanted to have some color down before I did it. So there you go. Okay, now I'm gonna grab some other colors, and just kind of whatever I'm feeling, I just kind of drop it in, do whatever I want. And it takes a minute for this to dry, but I like doing it this way. So sometimes I think I like doing it this way because I'm not the traditional watercolorist. I just kind of do whatever I want. I've always, like, I either do organic shapes or I just kind of keep things really loose in how I do things. Now, like, the one thing to remember when you're doing this is that it's going to dry so much lighter than it looks here. So I'll have a habit sometimes of dabbing off color whenever I just need to leave it alone. So I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to go straight to the leaves. And like I said, again, I dip in a little color, dip in a little water, and just kind of throw it down. The reason I like doing it this way is because we're just so fussy about stuff. I love having something whenever I go to create that's just kind of fun, no worries, just kind of enjoy yourself kind of thing. And I know that teal is not traditionally in leaves, but I like putting it in there. So guess what? It's gonna go in there. Okay. Then I take, so that was just like a olive green. You know, I'm gonna show you this too so you can see that I'm being legit when I say that I don't write. This was probably one of my very first watercolor kits. And yep, because it says palette 1, so it is my very first. And I forgot to write down the names of colors, and it's my all-time favorite palette. And so it's problematic whenever you're trying to show people, but it's this olivey green. I love, like, not olivey green, but like a green gold. That's the main color. And then this teal color here, and then yellow, orange, and then I dropped in some red. So now I'm gonna continue on. Now I'm gonna drop, I know this one is Payne's Gray, just because it's my favorite color to use. I like using it. And so this is dried a little bit, so I'm gonna drop a little bit at the base here. I talk too much to you guys while I'm doing this, so it's not very wet. But anyways, normally it would be a little wet and it would just kind of meld in. And right now it's not. And that is it. And then when it dries, you'll get to see how it looks. All right, I'm gonna grab another pad, and I'll meet you back here and we'll do another one. All right, so this is the next one that we're gonna do. I'm using the Fluid Watercolor Cold Press, which I love this paper. It's 140 pound, and it's a 6x6 sheets. I love the Fluid Watercolor paper. And you can see from this other one, if I get it up close, you can see how smooth that is because it's hot press. This one has some grooves to it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has some texture to it. I love that. So I'm guessing if I was doing faces, maybe I would like the hot press. I don't know. I guess I haven't really paid attention. But anyways, maybe I'll pay attention and then I'll tell you. All right, so for this one, I think, you know what, I think I am gonna stick with the 5. I'm liking the feel of the 5. So I'm gonna stick with the 5, the Micron 5. And we're gonna do, I think some of these floppy leaves look kind of fun right now. Oh, you know what one I like? I love, this one is my favorite. I don't know what it is. I don't know where I got it, I can't even remember, but I love all the little spikiness that happens with it, and like it almost looks like little seed pods. I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but I like it. So I think we'll do that. I think that one will be fun. And I think we're going to just take a different angle on it than that has, just kind of go with it. So we'll go up. See, in this paper, you can even, as you're drawing on it, it has a different texture. The pen is like hitting some grooves to it. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I don't know, I'm digging it. I think it's just all personal preference. See, you have no control over this, which, you know what? Watercolor, you really don't have a lot of control either. So maybe it's a theme. Maybe we're working on a theme, guys. Here we go. So I know this looks super crazy and ridiculous, but it'll be fun. Okay, I'm just gonna do a couple of these little offshoots here. All right, there we go. Now we're done with the pens. I'm gonna do this brush. I'm gonna show you the difference. I don't know if you can even see a difference, but I can tell a difference. Whenever you're using brushes, you can tell. And so I'm just gonna wet. I probably should have let the pen dry, the Micron dry a little bit. You can see it's still a little wet still, and I'm throwing water down on it. But I don't care. We're just playing. It'll be fine. So, especially right there. I'm just laying down some water on these leaves so that I can drop some colors into them. And let's see, I'm just kind of randomly dropping some color in. It's just kind of loose and free, but there are really good watercolor artists at this. They're so good at watercolor. I just am a baby at it, but I'm loving it. And I think that sometimes it's nice to see somebody at the beginning-ish. I've been doing watercolor for, I don't know, probably 6 years, but doing it my way, not really an official way. And so this last year I've been taking more and more classes and kind of learning the rules of things. But all right, so I'm gonna take and grab add some more yellow to this. I think the reason I like my palette so messy is that I don't know, there's some happy accidents that happen with the colors that are on there, and I just think it's kind of fun to leave it like that. So if you're a master watercolorer, you're probably going, she doesn't do it right. And that's fine. I'm fine with not doing it right. I used to not be. It used to bug me that I didn't do it right, but well, I don't even want to say right. I want to just say that I don't do it the traditional way. I do it my way. And I think that that's important with anything that you do, that you find your way of doing things. You learn a little bit from this artist or that artist, but you do things how you want to do them. And if you want to do a traditional watercolor the way it's was intended for, go for it. I say do it. But if you just want to find your own way, I say play and figure it out. And doing little color studies or continuous line drawings, or just kind of just having fun. No pressure, just enjoy it. And I enjoy it. It's really relaxing. And so it's my go-to. I like doing it in the morning, like almost as a morning meditation. I like to grab watercolors and go for it. I had somebody comment on my Instagram once when I said, I use this as a morning meditation. I just find a quiet place and just kind of play in my watercolors. And she's like, I have 4 kids and my life is crazy. She said that she laughed out loud when she saw that I posted that I was doing this in the morning and having quiet time whenever she was in the middle of, you know, screaming kids and husband and dogs and whatever else she had going on. I just thought it was kind of funny. But you know what? I will say that I have done my time. I raised 3 kids and I loved every single minute of it. But guess what? My time has come to have peaceful mornings and it's wonderful. Even though I miss it sometimes. All right, so there you go. My sloppy little mess. But it's just so much fun. I think making a mess in watercolor is what excites me. So there you go. All right, now I'm gonna set this one to dry. I'm gonna let them dry and then I'll come back and show you how they look after they're dried. All right, now they're dry. I don't even know which way I want them. Maybe that way, that's how I'll keep him. But anyways, so they're pretty much dry. You can see where I accidentally touched the paint and touched the canvas there, but it'll be okay. Like I said, we're just playing. And then there's this guy, and I love how the colors dry on that. And then I have some more, and so I thought I would pull them out and show you. So like on my scraps, like whenever I'm making journals and I have scraps of watercolor paper, I just put them in a drawer, and then whenever I'm ready or want to do something, I just pull them out and do continuous line drawings or mini watercolor studies. So here is some that I think I did these this morning when I woke up for my morning meditation. I just played on these and just did some continuous line drawing and threw down some color. See, I do like this shape a lot. I think there's another one in here. Did we see another one? Yep. See, I kind of like that shape for whatever reason. All right, so there we go. And then we're in the middle of the coronavirus stuff, and so I put a little community on there, and I'm gonna send it in a happy mail. Send it in my, I keep these little ones in my happy mail stash. You've seen this if you've seen my happy mail tutorial. You've seen these, but anyways, so I just did some of these to throw into this mix of things that I can throw in letters to friends. All right, I hope that this was helpful, something to do, especially if you're stuck home right now. And if you have a pen, you don't even have to, like I said, like I showed you guys this. I don't even color this one in. I just sketch it. like I just take a pen and I could go through a zillion of pieces of paper just sitting there doing this. It's so much fun. I love it. I also like using the fine tip Sharpies too. Those are they're smooth. They flow really well. And so that one, if you have one of those around, would be kind of nice. I wonder what and maybe even a fine tip, not even that tiny tip, but the pointed tip might be fun as well. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.